Hassan was working at the access gate. Where was Hassan working? He was working at the access gate. Hassan was an access control officer. What was Hassan? He was an access control officer. What was his job? His job was to control access to the site. Hassan had an important responsibility. What did Hassan have? He had an important responsibility. What was his responsibility? His responsibility was to make sure that only authorized people could enter the site. Who could enter the site? Only authorized people could enter the site. Hassan knew that security and safety were very important. What did Hassan know? He knew that security and safety were very important. What was important to Hassan? Security and safety were important to Hassan. At the gate. The first employee arrived at the gate. Who arrived at the gate? The first employee arrived at the gate. Where did the employee arrive? He arrived at the access gate. The employee stopped in front of Hassan. Who stopped in front of Hassan? The employee stopped in front of Hassan. The employee gave Hassan his ID. What did the employee give Hassan? He gave Hassan his ID. Whose ID did he give Hassan? He gave Hassan his ID. Hassan took the ID and checked it carefully. What did Hassan do with the ID? He checked it carefully. Did Hassan check the ID quickly? No. He checked it carefully. Why did he check it carefully? Because small mistakes can create security problems. Why did Hassan check the information carefully? Because small mistakes can create security problems. Hassan checked the employee's name. What did Hassan check? He checked the employee's name. He also checked the employee's identification number. What else did he check? He checked the employee's identification number. Hassan then checked the employee's authorization. What did Hassan check after the ID? He checked the employee's authorization. Why did he check the authorization? Because he needed to make sure that the employee was authorized to enter the site. Checking the information. Hassan opened the required record on the computer. What did Hassan open? He opened the required record on the computer. He checked the information carefully. How did Hassan check the information? He checked the information carefully. The information was correct. Was the information correct? Yes, the information was correct. The employee was authorized to enter the site. Was the employee authorized to enter? Yes, he was authorized to enter the site. Hassan did not make assumptions. Did Hassan make assumptions? No, he did not make assumptions. He verified the information before allowing access. What did Hassan do before allowing access? He verified the information. Why did he verify the information? Because he needed to make sure that the employee was authorized. Checking PPE. After checking the authorization, Hassan checked the employee's PPE. What did Hassan check next? He checked the employee's PPE. What does PPE mean? PPE means personal protective equipment. The employee was wearing the required PPE. Was the employee wearing the required PPE? Yes, he was wearing the required PPE. Hassan checked that the employee had full PPE. What did Hassan check? He checked that the employee had full PPE. Why was PPE important? Because PPE helps protect personnel from workplace hazards. Hassan knew that safety requirements applied to everyone. What did Hassan know about safety requirements? He knew that safety requirements applied to everyone. Did safety requirements apply only to visitors? No. Safety requirements applied to everyone. They applied to employees, visitors, contractors, and other personnel. Who did the safety requirements apply to? They applied to employees, visitors, contractors, and other personnel. Allowing access. Everything was correct. The employee had a valid ID. His authorization was correct. His PPE was complete. There were no issues with his access. Was everything correct? Yes, everything was correct. Was the employee authorized to enter? Yes, he was authorized to enter. Hassan allowed the employee to enter the site. What did Hassan do? He allowed the employee to enter the site. Why did he allow him to enter? Because his identification, authorization, and PPE were in order. Hassan then recorded the required information. What did Hassan record? He recorded the required information. Why did he record the information? Because accurate records are important for access control. A second employee arrives. A few minutes later, another employee arrived. Who arrived a few minutes later? Another employee arrived. This employee gave Hassan his ID. What did the employee give Hassan? He gave Hassan his ID. Hassan checked the ID. What did Hassan check? He checked the ID. The ID was valid. Was the ID valid? Yes, the ID was valid. But something was wrong. Was everything correct? No, something was wrong. The authorization information did not match the record. What was wrong? The authorization information did not match the record. Hassan did not allow the employee to enter immediately. Did Hassan allow the employee to enter immediately? No, he did not allow him to enter immediately. He stopped the access and verified the information. What did Hassan do? He stopped the access and verified the information. Why did he stop the access? Because the authorization was not confirmed. Hassan did not guess. Did Hassan guess? No, he did not guess. He did not assume that the employee was authorized. What did Hassan not do? He did not assume that the employee was authorized. Instead, he contacted the responsible person. Who did Hassan contact? He contacted the responsible person. He followed the correct procedure. What did Hassan follow? He followed the correct procedure. The important principle. Hassan understood one important principle. What did Hassan understand? He understood one important principle. The principle was simple: verify first, then allow access. What was the principle? Verify first, then allow access. Hassan always tried to follow the procedure. What did Hassan always try to do? He always tried to follow the procedure. He did not make decisions based on assumptions. What did he not do? He did not make decisions based on assumptions. If he was not sure, he verified the information. What did he do if he was not sure? He verified the information. If the situation was outside his authority, he informed his supervisor. What did he do if the situation was outside his authority? He informed his supervisor. Hassan understood that a good ACO must be calm, professional, and careful. What must a good ACO be? A good ACO must be calm, professional, and careful. He also understood that safety and security were his priorities. What were his priorities? His priorities were safety and security. Hack interview connection. Now imagine that the interviewer asks Hassan, what is the main responsibility of an ACO? Hassan answers, the main responsibility of an ACO is to make sure that only authorized people, vehicles, and materials enter the site while following security and safety procedures. What is the main responsibility of an ACO? To make sure that only authorized people, vehicles, and materials enter the site while following security and safety procedures. What would you check before allowing an employee to enter? I would verify the employee's ID and authorization, check the required PPE, check for prohibited items, and make sure everything complies with site procedures. What would you do if the authorization did not match the record? I would stop the access, verify the information, and contact my supervisor or the responsible person according to the procedure. Would you make an assumption? No. I would never guess or assume. What would you do if you were not sure about something? I would verify the information and follow the proper procedure. What would you do if the situation was outside your authority? I would escalate the situation through the proper chain of command. Golden sentences. I would verify the information before allowing access. I would follow the site's procedure. I would never guess or assume. I would act within my authority. If necessary, I would escalate the situation to my supervisor. Safety and security are my priorities. I would remain calm and professional. Safety requirements apply to everyone. Mini story. Repeat it. Hassan was working at the access gate. An employee arrived and gave him his ID. Hassan checked the ID and the authorization. Then he checked the employee's PPE. Everything was correct, so Hassan allowed the employee to enter. Later, another employee arrived. His ID was valid, but his authorization did not match the record. Hassan did not make an assumption. He stopped the access and verified the information. He contacted the responsible person and followed the correct procedure. Hassan understood that a good ACO must be careful, professional, and responsible. He always remembered one important principle: verify first, then allow access.